First question is from Tara in North Carolina. She asked, do you ever cheat your finger positions on the fiddle? So what she's asking about in particular is going from A3 to D3. So first off, I wanted to see if Tara was in yet. I don't think she is, but oh, there you are. So let's see. Give me a sec. I want to see if Tara could ask the question better than me. So I'm looking for you, Tara. Yuri, do you see Tara? Wave your hand if you. There we go. Okay, gotcha. So we got you spotlighted, and let me just unmute you. Hold on a sec. Yuri, can you unmute her, Tara? Okay, great. Can you say your question now?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was playing Tennessee Waltz, your duet, and there was one part where I had to jump from A3 to D3, and it was a challenge because my finger had to like hop over the string. And so what I did was I kept my third finger on A3, but then I used my second finger for D3. And I cheated and it worked and it was wonderful and I went fast. I was able to keep the pace, but then I felt guilty for using the wrong finger, and I just wondered, is that common or is that completely taboo to do things like that?
Good question. And first off, starting at the end of your question,
By the way, I did learn how to go from A3 to D3, but I did.
you did learn how to do it with the third finger. Oh, okay. So it's a good question, and you asked, is it completely taboo? And I would say definitely not. There's a lot of amazing musicians, fiddlers, and any instrument where people have learned to do something quite unconventional to get to the point of making music. Remember that the ultimate point is making music. So if something works for you, then maybe that's good. However, I think that a lot of the basic forms are really helpful, and they exist for a reason because they work. So I would say, like, if you find a solution that works, then just go with it, but continue to try to do more the proper form. And so your question in particular is about going from A3 to D3. And so if you're moving slowly, you can shift the finger to each string. But in your example, you need to go more quickly. And so you need to be able to hold that finger across both strings. And so normally I try to get, the form is you land more on the fingertips. But for this, you're going to want to go more flat to get both. And by the way, this is not hard. This is hard. Sorry, this is hard because the tuning of it is hard. If you try the double stop, you'll see that it's quite challenging. And so I'm just going to go ahead and add, like now, Tara, I'm going to just say how you could practice it, even though it sounds like you got it. But basically what you would do is you'd first get really good at finding these two notes. And in this case, you might want to drone one or two of the notes. I would pick, so they were going from a D note to a G note. I would probably drone a G. So you have a reference. Let me lower that. So you would start by just moving it and then speeding this up and see if you can do it in tune. And then you try the thing where you flatten it. It's not an extreme flattening like guitar. It's more of a, let's see if I can get the angle right. I'll try it this way. Oops. We don't want participants. Forgot to change that setting. Okay. All right, so where was I? So there it is flattened. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, so anyway, let me get back to my notes here on this. So So anyway, once you get this in your ear doing separate notes, then you would hold it down and try it that way. You may want to also do this with, it might be a little easier to start with first finger. It's kind of like, for those of you who play guitar or mandolin, it's kind of, this kind of thing is done a lot, sometimes called a bar chord in guitar, but here we're only doing it on 2 strings. And so I want to circle back just to your question, Tara, about cheating and so forth. And it's definitely not a cheat, but the form will be better in the long run. And also being able to do it will just give you a little bit more flexibility. You won't be too locked into one way of doing it. In general, just try practicing things in different ways. You may think you have something, you may think you have a tune, but you could always try starting it up bow instead of down bow, doing it with slurs instead of not slurs, to just kind of continue to experiment.
Okay.
So anyhow, so I'm now, let's just see, is there anybody who's got thanks for your question, Tara.
Sure.
Go to FiddleHed.com for a progressive, step-by-step course outline, color-coded tabs, play-along tracks, sheet music, and much more. Thanks for watching the video. Excellent. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.